good morning, everybody. How we doing today? Monday, August 11th, 2025. For those that don't know, this is Rick. How's everybody doing? Great big good morning. Let's see. Let me get, there we go. Got a chart up over there, chart up over here. Good morning, Julie. Good morning, Daryl. Donna, good morning. JW, Joe, Terry Gale, good morning. Gold, Chip, Roger, Rod and Sunny, good morning. Let me get this over here. There we go. Good morning, Raleigh. How are you? How's everybody doing? Beautiful, beautiful day out there. What a great weekend. I hope everyone had a fantastic weekend. Hey, a couple of things to cover before we start looking at some charts. I do want to remind everybody that today, right now, today, August 11, 2025, today, Doug, Right Way Options, one of our divisions here at Hit Run Candlesticks, has an open house all day long. It's going to start at 9:25 a.m. That's 5 minutes before the market opens, and he will go till 4 p.m. So if anybody would like to get over there, please head that direction over in the Right Way Options room. If you don't know what the link is, I'll try to get it posted. But you can get it from any one of our social media sites. There's a link there to get in. Okay. So at 9:25 this morning over there, open house, it's worth it. Okay. It's worth it. So go check that out. Hey, I have another announcement that I want to make. And starting Wednesday, day after tomorrow. Okay. This is important. Day after tomorrow. I want to remind everybody that the new time for the charts and targets right now, what we're doing will be 7:30 a.m. Eastern. That's quite a bit earlier than we've been doing it. So let's all get up earlier, I guess, in some cases. So Wednesday, this week, day after tomorrow, let's meet up here at 7:30 a.m. Eastern for charts and targets. Okay. Now, what are we going to do here today? Hey, let's start with this. There we go. Really can't see that, can you? Huh. Man, that's no good. Oh, there we go. There it is. So we've got some numbers this week. It might be, some kind of might move the market, jolt the market, things like that. We've got CPI number right here on Tuesday. On Wednesday, we've got the EIA petroleum number. This is also Wednesday where we go live at 7:30 rather than 8:45 Eastern. Okay, so let's keep that in mind. On Thursday, we've got jobless claims and PPI number. And then on Friday, God dang, man, all this, actually, it's just the red ones that's important. Retail sales, industrial production. I'm not even sure how important that is. Anyway, there are some things coming up that could shake the market one way or another. So, however you personally trade those, well, do it that way. So some folks would rather be in cash. Some folks really don't care. So maybe throughout the week we can talk about it, what the best way is. But when it comes down to it, it's really up to you. All righty. Good morning, Gavin. Good morning. Hey, Ed. Good morning. Neil. Good morning. Vernon. Good morning. Wow. A lot of people coming in. Jameson. Good morning. How you doing, Jameson? I have to stop at your last name. I love Guthrie. one of my favorite singers, songwriters. Anyway, let's see here. Okay, let's play ball. Let's get going. Look, the market is bullish, huh? It really is. If we look at the weekly chart, and we talked about this last week, okay? The weekly chart, the market is very bullish. We did not turn bearish at all last week. If you look at the daily chart for swing traders like myself, well, you got kicked in the teeth when this moved down, or did we? That's a great spot for to look at a pullback, by the dip, maybe, kind of trading. And we have just rallied up and up and up and up and up, and the bulls are just hanging on. So as long as the bulls can hang on, right now, down here, I was bullish, but be very, very cautious. I'm losing the cautiousness a little bit, as we start to break out. If we do start to break out, the next target, the upside that I have, is going to be about this 642.90, somewhere in that area. If we look at the Qs, we broke out Friday and held, so I think we're looking good here now. So as far as price action goes, as far as trend goes, this market is bullish. Now, here's one of the things that my mouse is not clicking on. There we go. Little slowpoke. T2123 is just not responding to the bullish side. And I'll be honest, that's driving me nuts. It really, really is. This is my number one indicator outside of price action and moving averages. This right here, it's my number one, and it is killing me because it's not giving me that bullish. So I tend to trade a little cautiously when this is pointing to the downside. When price is underneath the white line and the white line is underneath the red dots. So maybe today it pops up. We'll see. But when it really comes down to it, you can't argue with the trend. I just don't believe you can argue with the trend. William is saying that T2123 has been replaced by the mags. It is true, and I have seen it many, many times, where if say the big tech, if the big tech is leading and pretty much everything else is just soft, going nowhere, that T2123 will not read bullish. That is true. That is true. And big tech can certainly take us up. I know that, I hear from time to time people say, well, man, this market's only being pushed up by 7 stocks. And I say, who cares? Look at that. I mean, then only trade those 7 stocks then. I mean, we don't, I mean, really, I mean, let's not get too uppity with ourselves. I think by and large, most traders want the stock market to go higher. By and large, most traders are long traders. So if the market's being pushed up by 7 stocks, who cares? Seriously, who cares? So, trade, make your money. That's what our job is. If we take a look at the diamonds are trying to move up. We're still in that downtrend line there. We need to break out, but they're not exactly falling apart. I mean, they do have these highs and then a lower high. So we have to respect that. Okay. We really do. IWM, we have to respect right now that it's below its highs, but we also have to respect it's actually trending up. I mean, look at that weekly chart. How can you argue with that? So the way I see it, in a little bit of a longer term, say the weekly, the bulls have it under total control. We get down to that daily chart, there's a little bit of price action that's a little bit haywire in some cases. So, but outside of that, until we actually turn bearish, I think we're bullish. Here's sounded kind of kooky. Here's the transports IYT, and I truly wish they were doing better. Yes, I do. We are still underwater via that downtrend line, and I think we need to respect that. I think also we can come over here to the 50-period moving average and just take back 50 days. That's what that dot is. And just come up to the hard right edge of that 50-period moving average, and you can see that we're putting in a nice little wedge here. So the question is, are we going to break to the upside or break to the downside? Because I guarantee you it can't go sideways forever. SMH, and there's the bulls right there. There's the bulls running us up. The market, for some old timers out here that follow the Dow theory, might still believe the market has to have the transports to go up, and that is just not true, because SMH can be that new push. For new traders that read the very first chapter of the Dow theory and think they know everything, they also think that the market needs the transports to move up. I would suggest that they continue to read the book and then read up on SMH just a little bit, because SMH can push this market up, and SMH doesn't give two hoots about transports. So keep your eyes on SMH right now, okay? Bottom line, follow the trade trend, trade the trend when it sets up for you, okay? All righty, couple of charts I have, AMKR. By the way, if you, I put a video out yesterday afternoon. Thank you to everybody that watched the video from our YouTube. I put, I don't know, half a dozen different stocks on there that I thought were doing pretty good. We're going to look at those today, plus what anyone else would like to look at, okay? So AMKR was one. To me, that looks like it's moving higher here. You know, a simple target is where you think resistance is. That's a good target. So that might be two good little, excuse me, two good little resistant areas right there. Another something else I'm going to do is draw a line, and we'll go up to that one, that high one, and then we're going to come back down to this low. And these might be areas that we take a look at. And this is probably more the way I do it. I used to put, you know, like those blue lines and hold those in there. But nowadays, what I tend to do is draw a wider band. And I tend to incorporate more of those dotted lines in there. So let's take this and we'll duplicate that. And that would be a good target. Then duplicate that. And then I think this is a good target right there. That's the 50% retracement back up. Once we get through that, then I think these targets up here are pretty much a shoe-in, providing the market remains bullish. And this is going to really sound silly. The stock stays bullish. Hey, look, you know, something can go bad in a stock at any given time. But right now, that's where this is pointing, up into this area, and it needs to take out this 24.25 area to get there, okay? eBay. I did not do eBay last night. I just saw that this morning. Do you guys see what eBay's doing? Beautiful gap up on eBay. And I get asked a lot, you know, about, where's my pen? There it is. Pop out of the boxes. And this is what I would call a pop out of the box. I think that's a very good example of pop out of the box. And what a pop out of the box is you get a chart that moves up, and it doesn't have to move up this much. It can be, you know, a slow move up, but then put tight candles, 3, 4 or more tight candles across that are in the upper end, right in here. Now that's the box. And then what we're looking for is the pop out. Boom. There we go. Now it's perfectly fine to be buying inside this box. Perfectly fine to be buying on the breakout or the breakout and pullback. I mean, this whole area here. And then what you're doing is you're trading the stock to where you think it might go. Well, you see that $100 mark up there? The $100 mark, over the years, I have proved, and many other traders have proved the same thing, that $100 mark can act as a magnet and just suck price right to it. So I think we're close enough where that magnet just might start working. And we've got a nice consolidation here, 3-8 trap setting up. So let's keep our eyes on eBay, okay? Meta, let's take Meta. Meta is a great, what we call a PBO, pullback opportunity, low, high, pullback opportunity. We're in a 3-8 trap. I've got targets up there. Here's the problem with Meta for some traders. You look at this chart, you think $770. I only dream of being able to trade Meta because my account's not so big, right? I mean, I hear that from a lot of people. Look, that's okay. There's workarounds. Take FBL. This is a single stock ETF for, guess what? Meta. And it's only 48 bucks. So take a look at that. Low, high, higher, low, 3 trap, target. Perfect. So if you can't trade Meta, this is an option for you, okay? Tesla might be one. Look at Tesla, by the way. Tesla's headed up to our 50% retracement here where that green band is right now. What is that about? Say 345, something like that. So now that we've broken out, I am fully bullish on Tesla here. So for me personally, here's something I'm going to do. I'm not in Tesla right now. So Tesla's up. What I'm going to watch for is the pullback. Unless Tesla, it creates a flying car, something magical carpet or something. Unless Tesla does that, it's going to pull back. So I'm going to wait for the pullback, and then I'm going to look at Tesla. And I can tell you right now, in my larger account, I'm going to pick up some Tesla. And there's my plan as far as targets goes. We need to talk about a plan sometime. Everybody needs to have that plan, okay? Now, my smaller account, yep, I'm going to buy TSLA. This is the single stock ETF for Tesla, and we're at $12.62. So for smaller accounts, this might be more affordable for you. So there's what I'm looking at right there. We've broken out over that downtrend line. We're above the 50-period moving average. We're actually in a rounded bottom breakout. It hasn't confirmed yet, okay? We don't have a confirmed rounded bottom breakout, but it looks to me like it's headed that way. And so I'll be buying this in the smaller account, all right? All right, look, I've got some questions here. Let me grab those. Let me start at the top here. Alfred, how you doing? How do you know when you are in a 3-8 trap if you don't display the 3? Because it's just simply close to the 8 EMA. Bottom line, that's all it is, okay? That's all a 3-8 trap is. Price that's close to the 3 exponential moving average. Yeah. I'm going to my scans here real quick. UAL. I mean, see how we're close to the 3 or the 8? Do we really need to put the 3 up there? And I would argue no. So here's what I would do. For somebody that is not comfortable with the 3-8 trap, put the 3 up there. After a while, you have a choice. You can take the 3 off or keep the 3 there. You all know the reason I don't put it on my chart is because it makes the chart look like crap. It's too busy. It's like this mother hen running around, and I don't want that. All right, but that's a 3-8 trap. It's close to the 8. That's all it is. All right. Hope that helped. Hello, Jameson. Would you say buy? What do you mean? When you say buy, what do you mean? So your stock question mark. Let's take Tesla. So I shared my plan. It's gone up too high for me to buy right now. Whether I buy the stock or the option, doesn't matter. It's gone up too high. So I've got to wait for that setup. Basically, I'm going to wait for a pullback or a rest. Now, I can tell you that I'm going to buy the option. Now, some people might buy the stock, okay? Whenever you hear me say I'm buying something, there's a 99.9% chance I'm going to buy the option because I think that's the best trade. Okay, it doesn't mean you can't buy the stock and make money. Now, every single stock, every single chart can be bought stock. You can buy the stock in it. But not every single chart can you buy options in for several different reasons. And we can't get into that right now this morning, okay? But I can tell you personally and everybody out there that 99.99% of the time, when I buy a position, it's going to be the option. And I only buy simple directional calls or puts, meaning, and calls or puts, it's just long or short. That's all that is. Okay. But the option people in the world think they've got to confuse everything. So when I buy Tesla right now, my game plan is for it to move up. So I'm going to buy a call. All right. If I was going to buy it short, I would buy a put. And we can talk about that more in the room. Okay. Glad you're here. Thank you. And thanks for the question. All right. Let's move over here. Hey, Daryl, how are you doing? We're going to start from the bottom and work up. You're looking at a little Telray. Oh, wow. I can see why. Let's put that on our watch list. So Telray is a rounded bottom breakout. Great pop today. Personally, I'm not a big chaser, big moves like this. But when you take into account the trend coming off the bottom, the big move today, especially if it holds up, where do we think this is going to go? That's the important thing for me. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to take from about right in here is where I'm going to take this and draw some lines in there, just like this. Okay. All right, there we go. And right there is what I'm going to look for. There's the 50% retracement. That's my golden ticket. That's what I want. Doesn't mean I always get it. Doesn't mean I always get it, but that's what I always want. That's my trade plan. That's the beginning of my trade plan. That's my playing field right there. So now we can work that chart. For me, I'm going to look for stocks that consolidate and pull back. Not everybody does that. Some people might buy this and just, doesn't matter if it pulls back, doesn't matter anything. Some people might buy this and just hold it for 6 months. Who knows? I'm going to wait till, which I'm never going to buy this because it's only 78 cents. It's got to get, some bars I don't go into. Okay. I'm not going to go into that bar. I'm not allowed to. So for me, it's I'm going to wait for a pullback like this, and hey, it might pop up and then pull back. That's okay, fine. I'm going to wait for those pullbacks, and again, that's my trade area, and in there is where I can put my plan together. Nice chart, super. Way to go on that one. Hydro, you're back on plug, huh? Okay. Plug. So, plug is still overall trending long. Yep, you can see that. We're still trending long. The 50-period moving average is still rising. The only thing for me is I need a buy signal here. I don't see the buy signal. Could be today. I mean, it could open up today. I still have a target up here at this 185 area, followed by 210 up here. So it just, it's still bullish. It's just, where are you going to buy it, I guess? Or maybe you're holding it. I don't know. You don't ever share that with me. So let's see here. Hey, Jameson, CSP, pretty nice chart. Yeah, pretty nice chart. We've got a nice trend up here. It's still working. I want to be a little bit concerned about that candle right in there, but we start to break out, man. Yeah, that could get you right up in there. Another, quite a bit higher. Yeah. Are you in this? And just so you know, I only trade directional calls and puts, by the way. Okay. Whoops, I'm in the wrong one. That's not what you put. CSP. Well, that's not a ticker symbol. Cash reserved put, secured puts. Okay. All right. We can talk about that maybe more after the live thing. Okay. What do we have here? Oh yeah, here's something, folks. I put MU on the trade video last night. If you were in MU, congratulations. It's too late today. We need to let it pull back. So that's what I'm going to do. MU is going to be a major trade for me that I'm going to be looking at when it pulls back or gives me that opportunity to buy. I still think it moves to these highs up here. Here, let's do it again. Right now, the way MU has acted, MU has come up, which I didn't want it to do this, but it did. Popped up, and a little rest is likely to happen, whether or not it's today or not. And then let's see if we can get back to this top and possibly break out on MU. Okay. Another one is SOUN, and then we're going to have to call it a day. So a morning. SOUN is setting up for a buy. Our target is still up here between $15.50 and $16. That's that 50% retracement, taking the high from December 24 down to the lows here of April 25. That puts us in about that 16 area right there. So I'll be watching SOUN for a buy, and then see if we can't make, I don't know, up into that area is about 17%. We'll look at. Okay. All right, William, one more, and then I really got to go. Market's going to open. ETHA, you're ready to sell it. If you had it down here, congratulations. Super profit. And again, congratulations to all members on the huge profits last week. I mean, it was fantastic. Okay. Don't forget Wednesday, our starting time here will be 7:30 Eastern. Okay. 7:30 Eastern. All right. I'll see everybody here in the trading room at the bottom of the hour when the market opens up. Okay. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.